All right, everybody. The first week of the new year is over, and I hope all of you had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. 5 days into the new year, how's it working out for you? All I know is we're doing Chicago Reacts, and we're going to do something very special. And this is close to my heart. It has to deal with Warhammer 40K. And if you've been watching Chicago Reacts from the beginning, the very beginning, the only true beginning, you'll know that I rarely watch Warhammer 40K content unless it's brand new because, let's face it, there's a lot of stuff that I've seen. Now, recently, we did do a live stream reaction, well, last year, of course, of Hell's Reach. If you missed out, too bad. Maybe if people demand it again, we might schedule a second reviewing for a live stream of Hell's Reach. But listen, if you don't tune in, you don't get it and you don't got it. So there you go. But we got ourselves something very cool to check out. A true size of a Space Marine chapter. Part 1 documentary from Invicta, which has done a lot of great content. So please be sure to support their original channel. All the videos that we react to, you hip cool cats. Yes, it's 2024. I don't care. The same rules apply. If you want to be a hip cool cat in my eyes, I'm telling you that you. In the description box below is the original link. Please support the original content creator. Please support the original content creator. We do that for all our videos. So please support the original content creator. I expect that out of everyone in my audience because I know that you're good people. You guys and gals, you hip cool cats. But now, enough of me talking. Enough of me wasting your time. We're here to check out a video. And I want to check it out too. True Size of a Space Marine chapter. Part 1. Documentary by Invicta. So, since I'm in charge of the ones and twos, let's get ready to check it out in a 3, a 2, a 1.
Space Marines are the greatest of the Emperor of mankind's warriors, who stand as a bulwark against a galaxy of horrors. Yet, formidable as they may be on their own, the strength of these superhuman Astartes lies in their combined arms. From the defensively equipped Devastator squads to the offensively equipped Assault squads, the mixed doctrine tactical squads, and beyond. Theirs is a force best understood as a whole. Thus, in this series we shall bring to life the entirety of a Codex-compliant Space Marine chapter with its Scout, Reserve, and Battle companies, in addition to its vehicle pool, support staff, and...
I think we're going to be talking about one of my favorite Space Marine chapters, the Ultramarines. Now, look, I'm going to be very clear here, folks. Look, the Ultramarines get a lot of hate, and I think it's unwarranted. I really think that it's not fair that the Ultramarines get a lot of hate. But however, in regards to it, I think they got a lot of charm and honor to them. And I remember, a lot of people, some people who I've talked to about the Ultramarines, and that is, they weren't there during the Siege of Terra, all right? And I think in many ways that severely affected the Ultramarines and Reboot Gilliman himself, because I bet if they were there, they would have made an impact. Maybe the Emperor would have not have gotten on the Golden Throne. Maybe things would have been different. Who knows? But I think the reason why they work as hard as they work is because they missed out on the chance to maybe make an impact, a change, a difference. And I'm going to speak for myself here. I can relate to the Ultramarines a little bit. There's a lot of honor to them, and I think a lot of their hate is just not like, if writers wanted to turn them into Mary Sue's, fine. Maybe that's a little bit of a charm to them because they're the Ultramarines, but never forget that even when Reboot Gilliman turned back, I forget what returned back. I forget which book it was in, because I actually got the new edition of the trilogy of the Dark Imperium, and reading those 3 books, I can relate to Gilliman because here he is, a man out of time, clearly by himself. Now, obviously, the Lion has returned, and he has to rule the Imperium, something that has turned into something that him and his brothers and the Emperor himself would be disgusted by. And it's just that, you know, he realizes he made mistakes during his time originally as the First Lord Commander, and now he's doing everything that he can to keep the Imperium together as the only Primarch, at least at what he thought at the time. So the Ultramarines, I do respect them. I'm very curious to see what a non-Codex compliant chapter would look like. I'm looking at you, Black Templar. I'm looking at you. And the quote Rogel Dorn from If the Emperor Had Texas Speech Invite when Helbrecht showed up. I don't want to talk to these to my sons here. They're psychopaths. I don't want to talk to them.
Command structure. We shall do so with none other than the Primarch Robute Guilliman's finest.
Yeah!
This is the true size of the Ultramarine chapter.
Ultramarines.
You can organize your own unsanctioned warhost with today's sponsor, Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader. It's an
Is this game worth checking out? Let me know. Type in the comment section below.
isometric CRPG from Alcat Games, which sets players loose in the poorly charted Coronis Expanse. Here you begin by customizing your own upstart rogue trader, ready to make a name for themselves on the fringes of Imperial control. Assemble a team of diverse characters, including unsanctioned psychers, servants of the Inquisition, and even wayward Space Marines to fight against the rival factions and monsters which stand in your way. Then, load your crew aboard a personal void ship to explore the stars, fight space battles, and take control of worlds for your own expanding domains. But beware the corrupting influence of chaos. In these endeavors, it's clear that Alcat Games has learned a lot from community feedback on their prior Pathfinder titles. The party builder and item management systems are well polished, and the narrative system gives you a solid blend of guidance with dynamic free choice. Meanwhile, the traditional formula of CRPGs is kept fresh with combat mechanics like momentum, volley fire, penetrating shots, and pushback effects. Large turn-based battles are also made much more enjoyable this time around, with a squad system for simultaneous action. For the first time in their history, Alcat Games has also added a drop-in, drop-out co-op mode, which makes this experience even better than ever before. So click the link in the description to check it out. Enjoy!
Looks like a fun game.
The Imperium of Man spans much of the known galaxy. As such, its military is of an equally enormous size, and its scope defies the grasp of human minds. Yet at its core lies a bastion of order in the form of the 1,000 Space Marine chapters. In days past, such chapters were part of sprawling legions capable of fielding hundreds of thousands of Space Marines alongside their associated Imperial Army, fleet, and logistical elements. However, while these formidable institutions were critical in the wars of the Great Crusade, their incredible power proved dangerously concentrated during the bloody civil war of the Horus Heresy in the early 31st millennium. Thus it was that in the aftermath of this
I really like the choice of music right now. This is very calming. I've been listening to a lot of kind of music like this right now, so I don't know. For those of you who don't know, Christmas was a little rough on me. It was the first Christmas I was actually alone, and well, the less personal the better. But New Year's, I was actually able to hang out with some friends, and I had a wonderful New Year's Eve. But I was listening to this after Christmas, like a lot of these, like, you know, choir kind of music, just to soothe my soul. That's right. Sometimes, hey, even yours truly needs to have some peace of mind.
conflict, the Ultramarines Primarch, Robute Guilliman, split the remaining 9 loyalist Space Marine legions into roughly 1,000 chapters of 1,000 Marines, in what came to be known as the Second Founding. The restructuring of these troops was formalized in the sacred tome of the Codex Astartes. Written by Robute Guilliman himself, This exhaustive treatise laid out his ideal for the order of battle, tactical doctrine, and moral behavior of a Space Marine chapter. Its guidance proved key to the evolution of these new units. Yet, while it has been adopted to one extent or another by the vast majority of chapters, full, unwavering conformity proved impossible. In the 10 millennia since its inception and the death of Guilliman, the Codex Astartes has been added to by many other writers, and several competing versions have emerged. Yet, the core tenets of the Codex have stood the test of time. With this in mind, we can now describe the general organization of a Codex-compliant chapter of the 41st millennium. Generally speaking, a Codex-compliant chapter has around 1,000 Space Marines led by a chapter master. Each chapter is in turn divided into 10 companies of 100 Marines, each led by a captain and a pair of lieutenants. These leaders are accompanied by a command squad of hand-picked veterans and an HQ unit of at least one of the following: a chaplain, a librarian, a tech marine, and an apothecary. Each company is then further subdivided into roughly 10 squads of 10 Marines, each led by a sergeant. The companies are traditionally ranked in seniority from the 1st to the 10th, and often have their own particular roles to play in the chapter's function and culture. They are mainly designated by the appearance of their shoulder trim, with each company having its own unique color. The most traditionally defined roles are as follows. The 10th company, designated the Scout Company, is where the chapter's neophytes are first inducted and learn to become space.
Neophytes, the scouts. Why do I think of Cyrus from the Blood Ravens, from Dawn of War 2, Dawn of War Chaos Rising, and of course, Dawn of War Retribution?
Space Marines. The 9th to 6th companies are designated as reserve companies, their duties being to hone the skills of aspiring Space Marines in different facets of war and to provide support and replacements for the 5th through 2nd companies. These so-called battle companies are combined.
I know that music. I know that music from a movie. I know that.
Arms elements who form the bulk of a chapter's strike forces. Lastly, the 1st company is designated the Veteran Company, which consists of the chapter's most experienced warriors. Attached to this force of roughly 1,000 Marines are a host of support personnel, vehicles, and starships. Together, they operate as a completely autonomous military unit whose headquarters may be located on a planet or moon-based fortress monastery, or on a massive flagship for fleet-based chapters. From here, they will exert control over their local area of space whilst serving as a small but critical elite force which can be deployed across the galaxy. They do so under the sole direction of their chapter master, who answers to no one except his fellow chapter masters, the High Lords of Terra, and the Emperor of Mankind himself.
Trust in the Emperor. Do not ever turn your back on him.
With this broad understanding, let us now delve into the greater specifics of a Space Marine chapter's organization. In this regard, we will do best to study the Ultramarines, progeny of the Primarch Roboutier Guilliman himself, who adhere most faithfully to his Codex Astartes. More specifically, we will be discussing the Ultramarines around the time of year 999 of M41, just prior to the fall of Cadia and the eruption of the Great Rift. We shall begin with the ascension of a new recruit as he prepares to undertake the long and arduous journey through the ranks of the Brotherhood.
Work hard, brother.
In many cases, chapters may seek to draw their manpower from worlds with harsh environments and cultures which pre-select applicants with desirable traits.
So these would be feral worlds or hive worlds in which, well, there's a lack of real law and order, Of course, we know Ultramar is a little bit different. The 500 worlds, or at least what remains of Ultramar. Perhaps Gilliman. I think I remember reading in Dark Imperium that Gilliman's trying to reinstate the 500 worlds, but, Ultramar is a little bit different.
There are, however, exceptions to this rule. In the case of the Ultramarines, they maintain several prestigious academies across the realm of Ultramar, dedicated
Precisely.
to the training and education of
Yes.
youths,
Yes.
from whence candidates are then drawn. Such recruits will be mortal boys who must now undergo the harsh trials of an aspirant. Those who pass either an exposure trial or the less common challenge trial may now be deemed worthy of starting their training in the chapter proper and are inducted into its ranks as a neophyte. However, this is but the beginning of their toils, and many will not survive the grueling tests which follow. Yet, those who do are granted the honor of finally becoming a true Space Marine. This transformation is a literal one, which involves a neophyte being implanted with their chapter's first set of 19 unique gene seed organs. Such carefully maintained marvels of genetic engineering will grant the recipient a range of superhuman abilities. Yet the process is a trial unto itself, with many being crippled or killed in the attempt. Survivors who finally emerge from the medical chambers will now do so as battle brothers, ready to begin their service to the chapter. Here they will join as a scout in the 10th Company, the Scions of Ultramar, under the command of Captain Antilochus. The entirety of the 10th is composed of
Same captain who took out old One Eye, not once but twice. That captain will be creating many great Space Marines. The chapter is in a debt. It is in a huge amount of debt to this captain.
scout squads. However, owing to its role as a training unit for the chapter, a scout company has no fixed number of squads attached to it. Thus, while its brethren may be expected to call upon 100 Marines per company, a scout company may field many times this number. They specialize in reconnaissance, infiltration, and sabotage. Scouts have received the same augmentations as their full-fledged battle brothers, but have yet to earn the right to wear power armor, instead wearing lighter carapace armor, more suited to their intended role. A standard scout squad consists of 4 to 9 such individuals led by a sergeant. Squads may be armed in a variety of ways, based on their intended roles. For instance, a sniper scout squad will be composed of 3 men with sniper rifles, a 4th man with a missile launcher, heavy bolter or autocannon, and a sergeant armed with bolt pistol as well as a chainsword as a sign of their rank. Tactical
Glorious.
scout squads, meanwhile, will trade out the 3 sniper rifles for bolters, while an assault squad will use shotguns, bolt pistols, combat knives, and grenades. Thus armed, young Space Marines will begin to familiarize themselves with the basic arsenal of their chapter. Scouts are also trained to operate light bikes and may ride these nimble vehicles on recon and disruption missions once they have gained sufficient experience. Scouts may also be deployed on the Storm-type land speeder to improve the squad's mobility,
Yes.
provided with additional fire support in their often far-ranging operations.
There's nothing more glorious to be on a motorcycle with a chainsword. I want to do that so badly. That would be so cool. So cool.
While it may be tempting to look down upon this most novice of companies, the 10th has its own proud history and traditions. The Scions of Ultramar have produced some of the most renowned infiltration experts and marksmen among the Adeptus Astartes. Indeed, many of the most veteran men of a company may spend years embedded in this unit as a means to train up its youngest neophytes. Once a Marine has earned sufficient experience as a scout, he will finally be implanted with his black carapace, which serves as a neural control interface that enables the full use of power armor. Thus equipped, he can now begin his journey through the ranks of the reserve companies. This starts with the 9th Company, the Stormbringers, led by Captain Sinon. It is a dedicated heavy support company composed of 10 Devastator squads. Of all the companies, they are the most defensive in doctrine, as shall be made clear by their armament. Each Devastator squad consists of a sergeant and up to 9 Marines. 4 are designated as heavy weapon specialists,
Gotta love those heavy bolters.
with the rest acting as support. While the latter carries the typical bolter, pistol, and grenade, the former brings to bear a far heavier arsenal, which includes heavy bolters, las cannons, plasma cannons,
Yes.
multi-melters, missile.
I can't help but remember when we had our Twitch channel, Chicago Plays, and we were playing Deathwing, and I made the joke calling it Dashwing. And my weapon of choice was the heavy plasma weapon. So, simpler times, innocent times, better times.
Launchers, and grav cannons. The squad sergeant is given additional heavy weapons training, making him an expert in the use and coordination of these mighty armaments. Sergeants will not, however, carry a heavy weapon themselves, and instead are equipped with their usual chainsword and some form of ranged weapon. Such Devastator squads may act as generalists who deploy a range of weaponry to meet any foe, or may act as specialists with gear designed to counter a particular enemy type, such as heavy armor or massed hordes.
And let's face it, when the battle gets this tough, when the battles get destructive, you need your heavy support to take out any kind of enemy, be it Necron tier, Necrons, of course, Tyranids, Orcs, Tau, Eldar, Dark Eldar, and Chaos.
Thus, in the words of the Primarch Robute Gilliman, quote, "A Devastator's reach shall be without limit, and his touch without mercy.
Good.
Fire shall roar from his fingertips, but
Good.
it shall consume him not. Thunder will roar when he calls, yet it will swallow him not. Wherever he stands, that shall be his fortress of righteousness." These Devastators will be further reinforced by their vehicles. A prime example is the Centurion-class warsuit, which has only recently been seeing more widespread adoption. This exoskeleton fits over a Marine's armor, further protecting them with ceramite plates and granting him the ability to wield even more formidable weaponry.
Ah, Centurion. I remember the last episode, If the Emperor Had Text-to-Speech Device. Do y'all remember that last episode too? Because I do. By the way, type in the comment section below. Should I restart watching the If the Emperor Had Text-to-Speech Device? Type 1 for yes, type 2 for no. I want to get your feedback. Let me know in the comment section below.
Centurion pilots are often drawn from the most veteran of the chapter's Devastator squads, and from there may be deployed alongside the 9th, depending on the situation. Like all of the following companies, the 9th also maintains a force of transports ranging from the small, nimble land speeders to the large, plodding Rhino and Razorback APCs. Additionally, the 9th may count on the support of Dreadnought combat walkers and Whirlwind artillery tanks.
Yes!
These and the rest of a company's vehicle needs will be drawn from the chapter armory, which we shall discuss later. After serving in the 9th and proving themselves capable of holding their ground against any foe, a Marine will next move to the 8th Company, where they shall learn the art of the offense. Within the Ultramarines chapter, they bear the title the Honor Blades and are led by Captain Joris Numitor. It is composed of 10 assault squads, the primary close combat and assault specialists of the Ultramarines. Each assault squad consists of a sergeant and up to 9 Marines, who will usually be equipped with jump
Strike from the skies, brothers.
packs to greatly enhance their mobility and allow for devastating aerial attacks. Assault Marines are primarily armed with a combination of bolt pistol, chainsword, and frag or crack grenades.
I gotta tell you, I'll never forget when the YouTube channel Eliphas that they did the same kind of video work that if the Emperor had text to speech device, with the Tyranid invasion, and there was something that really like I like about the assault Marines when on their jetpacks charging in, because when the Tyranids were charging, the assault Marines just go right into the horde and really start messing up the Tyranids with their chain swords, and that takes bravery. Can you imagine just seeing through your visor, through your mask, and you're an ultramarine and you're charging into the Tyranid horde and you're not holding anything back and you're messing up the onslaught of the Tyranids coming in there, even though you know you're putting yourself in harm's way. There's something absolutely glorious about that. Purely glorious.
1 or 2 Marines may be assigned a flamer to improve the squad's close-range firepower. Sergeants, meanwhile, are permitted a greater variety of war gear owing to their superior rank. In addition, they are bolstered by an upgraded comms package to allow them to operate efficiently whilst well ahead of the main army. Such assault squads are among the most mobile of Space Marine units, being used for a variety of roles including reconnaissance in force, decapitation strikes, and counter-assault missions. Their fearsome reputation precedes them, as was the intent of Roboutier Guilliman, who declared of the assault marine, quote, "He shall descend upon the perfidious foe as an angel of judgment from on high. Let the jump pack be his wings, and the roar of its engines a hymn of retribution. Let the chainsword be his scepter of decree, its harsh voice singing joyfully with each and every blow. With it shall the assault marine bring bloody retribution to the heretic, the traitor, and all alien aggressors who trespass on the Emperor's domain." The company's mobility is further enhanced by a vehicle pool, which includes a larger than usual number of bikes and land speeders and is supported by its own air force of Storm Talon gunships. In terms of heavy armor, the 8th has access to the typical complement of walkers, transports, artillery, and tanks, and may call upon such assets from the armory as needed. Now, having proven their merit in defense among the Devastator squads of the 9th and in offense among the assault squads of the 8th, a Marine will advance to the 7th Company, where the two doctrines shall be merged. For the Ultramarines, this occurs in the ranks of the Defenders of Caesarion, who are led by Captain Gerard Ixion. They are composed of 10 tactical squads, the masters of combined arms warfare, who have long formed the backbone of Space Marine strike forces for over 10 millennia. Consisting of a sergeant and up to 9 Marines, these are highly adaptable units designed to operate effectively against numerous types of opponents. As such, the majority of the squad is equipped with a bolt gun, bolt pistol, combat blade, and grenades.
The journey of becoming a Space Marine and going through these ranks must be absolutely arduous and tough to do, because let's face it, in the 41st millennium, not everyone is going to survive going through all these ranks. Like, it takes a lot to even go through all these companies and to become, a new member, or he's good at learning that. Because let's face it, in the 41st millennium, it is unending war, and Space Marines do die, from scouts to devastator squads to assault squads to tactical squads. I mean, that's what happens. That's what always happens. So to even make it this far means you've been through your fair share of horrific, ungodly warfare. And to anyone that thinks that, oh, well, you could just do this and skate on by, no. Survival is never guaranteed in the 41st millennium. And to tell you the truth, this is why I like Warhammer 40K. It's brutal, it's unforgiving, and while looking at this through my lens, I mean, I see it for what it is. It's a horrific war zone area, but I could take comfort in knowing that no matter how crazy our world gets, at least it's not as bad as Warhammer 40K. Right after that, Warhammer 40K, my next favorite science fiction series it's actually Star Trek, but not like the mainstream. It's more of Deep Space Nine, because I'm a huge fan of Captain Sisko. And I gotta tell you, Captain Sisko is the best captain in Star Trek, and I'm gonna tell you why. He's better than Kirk, he's better than Janeway, he's better than Picard. Why? Because when Q came onto Deep Space Nine, that's right, Q, the guy who likes to do all that stuff, Sisko knocked him the F out. Okay? The Sisko did that. And Q was shocked, like, oh, Picard never punches. And Sisko said, I'm not Picard. Now, I was a kid, and I used to watch Star Trek The Next Generation with my brother. I watched Deep Space Nine by myself. When I saw that, young Kit Cabela was like, whoa! I didn't know you could do that. I stood up and I applaud. I was by myself. I finished my homework. It was a Saturday. I was watching Deep Space Nine on the TV. And I said, like, that's my captain. Sisko's my captain, God damn it. Surprise, MFers. The Sisko don't mess around. As for other science fiction series, I think Star Citizen's earning a place in my heart for third place. As for Star Wars, it's dead. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry, Star Wars fans. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I can't say anything. I'm sorry, guys. You don't deserve what happened to y'all.
Proved firepower and flexibility, 2 of its members may be equipped in the manner of devastators with special weaponry such as flamers, melter guns, plasma guns, and grav guns. As usual, sergeants have access to a wide variety of different war gear,
Glorious.
such as combi weapons and powered close combat weapons, although they often go into battle armed with a bolt pistol and chainsword. Yet, as the Primarch Roboutier Guilliman reminds us, quote, "But these are mere tools. A tactical Marine's true weapons are his courage, his wits, and his dedication to his brothers. He will bring his foe to battle in a manner and time of his choosing, never himself caught unready or ill-prepared for the task at hand. In defense, he shall be stalwart as the mountain, a bulwark stood firm against the enemies of man. In attack, he shall strike with the wrath of the immortal Emperor, felling the foe without mercy, remorse, or fear."
Truth.
In terms of vehicle support, this company can call upon the usual complement of dreadnoughts, transports, and tanks. But for even greater flexible deployment, the 7th also maintains a permanent pool of land speeders, as dictated by the Codex, providing the chapter with a ready force of specialists in these nimble combat skimmers.
Good.
Battle brothers who continue to prove themselves will now make their way into the 6th Company. Within the Ultramarines, this last unit of the reserve companies is known as the Brethren of the Forge and is led by the famously aggressive Captain Maximus Epithus. The 6th is in many ways a mirror of the 7th, in that it also consists of 10 tactical squads. However, its members are more experienced and leverage these skills for a doctrine of armored spearhead assaults. As such, they make great use of APCs to rapidly maneuver its infantry, while being supported by dreadnoughts, battle tanks, mobile artillery, and gunships requisitioned from the armory.
Good.
Such is the extensive mechanized training of the brothers who serve in the 6th, that their ranks will be called upon to provide an honor guard to watch over the chapter armory within the fortress of Hera, and many such men will go on to become future tech marines. Should a space marine survive their long and bloody journey through the scout and reserve companies, a service which will take years if not decades to achieve,
Truth.
he will finally be granted the honor of advancing to the battle companies. We shall delve into their ranks in part 2 of this series, but you can get sneak previews and grab HD downloads of all our art by joining our Patreon or becoming a member of this channel. A huge thanks to our current supporters, as well as the researchers, writers, and artists for making this episode possible. We couldn't have done it without this team and this community. If you liked this episode, be sure to like and subscribe for more content, and check out these other related videos. See you in the next one.
All right, so here's the deal. Look, folks, this channel, Invicta, has done phenomenal work. I encourage all of you to please support the original content creator, support the original content creator, support the original content creator. We do this for all the videos. Look, I actually care about respecting and honoring all these content creators and making sure that you, our viewing audience, really like that too. Look, we like reacting to these videos, and I gotta say, the detailed information to a Codex compliant Space Marine chapter using the Ultramarines is on point. Everything is correct, especially in regards towards the arduous march to become a Space Marine and eventually making it to the battle companies. Let's be clear here. Becoming a Space Marine, while you get the benefits of becoming a, I guess, demigod in comparison to regular humans, let's face it, in the world of Warhammer 40k, war is unforgivable, and there are many enemies to humanity, such as Tyranids, Necrons, Orcs, Eldar, Dark Eldar, Chaos, Rebel factions, all of that, the Tau, and other various factions will do everything they can to kill humans and anything associated with the Imperium of Mankind, such as the Sisters of Battle, Space Marines, the Imperial Navy, the Adeptus Mechanicus, all this. It's the Mechanicus. Sorry, I don't know why I said Adeptus Mechanicus, but the Ecclesiarch, everything. Okay, so if it's human, if it's associated with the Imperium, it's on a target. It's on the hit list. So, becoming a Space Marine and reaching up those ranks takes a long time. And let's face it, life is not guaranteed, and everyone is destined to die. And that's how our real world is. No one's guaranteed a full life. So definitely make as much time, enjoy as much time as you can, because death is the high cost of living. But nonetheless, Invicta did a great video about this. I encourage you guys to support this channel. I've actually heard a lot of good things about it, especially feedback from all of you. Folks, we have a Discord page. We have a Patreon page as well. And for the new year, what I would like to see is this. The continuous growth of this channel. I know we recently got past 100K subscribers. We recently got that awesome silver play button. Wouldn't it be a sight if we actually got that golden play button too? I would like to see it. And I'm pretty sure all of you would like to see that too. So without further ado, since we continue to push forward, please be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. That's why you're made aware when we upload new content upon our YouTube channel. And all you hip cool cats, please support the original content creators. Share our content. Check out our Discord. Become a patron supporter. And we'll see all you hip cool cats on the flip side. And if you want us to check out more of If the Emperor Had Text-to-Speech Device, type 1 for yes, type 2 for no. Give us your feedback. Type in the comment section below. We got to hear back from you, the people. Let us know what is going on and how you feel. Until then, peace.